Are you holding a grudge against anyone? Think about it. Maybe you don't have to think that hard. Could be your parents, could be someone at work that just every time you think of them, you just, that's the emotion, right? Yeah, I feel you. There's that saying that every time you hold a grudge against someone else and you don't forgive, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Because all of those emotions, it's happening within you, right? And guess what? It stops you from being in flow because you're just thinking about all of the things that you're angry about and you get to fester in it. And you don't really want to let it go. Sounds like I'm talking rubbish, right? Why wouldn't you want to let it go? Why would anyone want to poison themselves? Because you get some sort of payoff from the poison. Let's think about it. The moment that you are pointing at someone and you're angry with them at something, look at the direction in which your power is going. You're zapping it all away and giving it to that person. Then you can't do anything about your situation because it's because of them that you don't get to live life how you want to live life. And it's because of them that you haven't been able to achieve anything. And it's because of them that they're stuck. What can you do about it if it's because of them? They need to become a whole new person in order for you to transform your life. But if they didn't exist, if you forgave them, then guess what? All of the things you were putting on them fall on you. So then you have to take action. You have to be responsible. You have to turn around your situation. So that's the thing, right? We need to learn how to look at what the relationship is teaching us and how we're giving away our power in order for us to turn it from a position of anger to a position of opportunity where we can take full responsibility and accountability for, number one, the part that we played in the dynamic of that relationship, and number two, what it's stopping us from being able to achieve for ourselves, and direct that energy inwards so that we can do something. I'm going to use an example. And let's go with parents, because everyone has some form of irritation with their parents, some more than others, but they're usually the foundation of some of the triggers and the traumas that we've experienced in life. So with my mum, as I was writing my book, I'm writing my memoir, and I remember there was a specific moment when I was 7 years old. I was on the escalators with her on the underground, and she said something that made me feel like, what kind of mum would say that? You're weak. And I resented her for not showing up as the strong mum that I would expect her to be. And guess what? After I made that decision, every single thing she did was a reconfirmation of how weak she was. She could have raised an eyebrow and I would have been like, see, only weak people raise their eyebrows like that. And that's how things happen when we're holding grudges. We look for evidence to validate that grudge. Then when I started doing the work after I fell into depression and started understanding more about myself and realizing that I had created ways of being that people didn't like, and they came from traumas or decisions that I made in the past, I was able to say, actually, well, she's the way she is based on things that happen in her life that I might not be privy to. So I forgave her, but be careful, because I didn't realize this. I was forgiving her from a righteous place. I forgave her from a place of, I've done all this work and you haven't done all of this work, so I'll forgive you because you don't know any better. That's not forgiveness. That's still a slight judgment. It's like, yeah, I'm going to forgive you because you're not where I am. And then I did a course that allowed me to really see her. And I saw, wow, this is a woman who was living in Nigeria with her children, came from an abundant lifestyle where she had maids and drivers and cooks and everything around her supporting her. And then because her husband's businesses started falling down, she had to move to a new country with 3 children and pregnant with another, was by herself, struggled to raise any finances. And all of a sudden I saw like, wow, she's the opposite of what I thought she was. I've been thinking she's weak, but this woman is Superwoman. It's just not Superwoman in the mold that, I don't know where I created this mold of how Superwoman should look, but when I looked at the reality of all of the things she had to endure and all of the things she stood for, and the fact that she never gave up at any point, no matter how things got, I was truly able to appreciate her. And in that moment, I got to have a really pure, loving relationship with my mum, which was not possible for the majority of my life. And that happened 4 months before she passed away. So she passed away with me not having any regret about not creating love between us and letting go of that grudge. And that's what's possible when you forgive. So I share that to say that you might be robbing yourself of having a loving relationship with someone. You might be robbing yourself of excelling and achieving goals that you want to because you're giving all your power away to someone else or something else. So if there's something you're holding a grudge to, do you really want to live the rest of your life with the payoff of being a victim and not having responsibility? Or do you want to live a full life where you have healthy relationships and you can create the life you want? Your choice.